Hi, my name's Kelly and welcome to my channel. It is July. It's my birthday month and I'm excited. You guys, I'm turning 40 this month. You have no idea how excited I am about this. I am thrilled beyond measure. I am so happy I'm turning 40. Can I just tell you that I have been telling people that I'm in my late 30s ever since I was like 37, just because it made me sound that much closer to 40. And then as soon as I turned 39, you want to know what I told people? Instead of saying I was 39, I would say, oh, I'm nearly 40. So for the past year, I've been telling people I'm nearly 40, but now I get to actually tell people I am 40 years old. Well, as of later this month, but the point is, I'm gonna be 40 and I am so excited. And I love that my birthday month coincides with Jane Austen July. I love Jane Austen. I love reading her works. I love reading retellings of some of her stories. I think that her work has standed the test of time for a reason. So I'm very excited about that. I'm actually going to talk about the Jane Austen July Challenge readathon thing in this video, talking about some of the books I plan to read and maybe a couple of other things that I'll read. I don't know, because I'm still doing my little mood read kind of summer. I'm not putting too much on myself. I am just reading what I want to. So this is going to be a bit of a list of possibilities, but anyhow, let's get to the Jane Austen July Readathon. I forgot to write down their names, but I will put it here somewhere and link it below. The 3 hosts for the Jane Austen July Readathon. And I will also put the prompts for the readathon down below as well in the description box. This year, the hosts have decided to do a readathon of Emma. I do have Emma. I've read it one time. It wasn't my favorite Jane Austen. But I might read it this month. I've been wanting to go back to it. I've been wanting to give it another shot. I feel like this might be a book that the more I read it, the more I will enjoy it. But since I'm doing what feels good to me, mood reading, I'm not sure that I will read it this month. I don't know, we'll see. But if I don't read it, I have been in the mood for Pride and Prejudice. So if I don't do the readathon with them, I might just go ahead and do Pride and Prejudice, which, by the way, for Jane Austen July, all you have to do is read one of her works and you've participated. So that's really nice that you don't have to feel like you have to do all of the prompts or read all the books. You just have to read one book by her and you've participated. So Emma is the read along for one of the main 6 novels. However, like I said, I might do Pride and Prejudice instead, because it feels like a Pride and Prejudice month. It feels like a Pride and Prejudice season in my life. Not that I'm going through a season that is like correlates with Pride and Prejudice. I just mean it feels like a season of my life in which I want to read it. The second prompt is to read one of her works that is not one of her main 6 novels. So this year I have decided I want to read Lady Susan again. This cracks me up. Lady Susan is someone that I absolutely love to hate. And I mean, maybe hate's a strong word, but she is not a nice woman, but it's hilarious. It's so funny to read. If you haven't read Lady Susan, I would definitely suggest it. It's so funny. The third prompt is to read a nonfiction work about Jane Austen or about the time that she lived in. For me, I'll be doing the Praying with Jane devotional by Rachel Dodge. I did this last year for the first time and I absolutely loved it. It's a 31-day devotional and there's 31 days in July. So I'm telling you, she must have done this on purpose, knowing that Jane Austen July was a thing. Anyhow, so what she does is she takes prayers that Jane Austen wrote and she talks about her life a little bit. And then what she does is talks about how that applies to us in our lives today. I really enjoyed it, and maybe if you're still looking for nonfiction work, this could be something for you to do. So the fourth prompt is to read a retelling of her works or a fictional work set during her time. I have a few options here that I have not read yet, but I'm excited to try to read each of them. I don't know which one I'll read. Maybe I'll read more than one, but here are my options. So I have Death Comes to Pemberley by P.D. James. I've heard a lot about this. I would like to give it a shot. I think that it could be interesting. I like a little bit of a mystery. So I think that could be a good read. The other one I have is Mr. and Mrs. Fitzwilliam Darcy, Sharon by Sharon Lathan. I believe that this just kind of talks about their life after marriage and some of the things that went on. Um, so I don't know. We'll see how this goes. My mom sent this to me. She knows that I like Pride and Prejudice, so I'm gonna try to read it this month. We'll see. Another one I have is Miss Austen Investigates by Jessica Bull. For those of you who saw my haul video, this is the book that I got that was a blind date with the book kind of thing. And so I'm actually really excited for this one. I think that it could be fun. Once again, it's a bit of a mystery. And then another book that I want to read this month, I'm really, really excited about this one, is The Rushworth Family Plot by Claudia Gray. Claudia Gray has this series in which she takes all of the Jane Austen books and the characters within them, and she kind of puts them in all into one world, and they interact with each other. And what it is it's a mystery series. So it started out with The Death of Mr. Wickham, which was a great book. I really enjoyed that. And we have Elizabeth and Mr. Darcy's son, who is called Mr. Darcy in these books. And then we have Catherine Morland and Mr. Tilney's daughter, who is referred to as Miss Tilney. And these two come along in each of these books and solve whatever mystery it is that's going on. And I've really enjoyed the fact that it incorporates all of these players from all of the Jane Austen books and just kind of mixes them together in this world. I feel like it's fun, definitely some funny moments, and uh, there's intriguing stuff that happens, and it kind of keeps you interested, and I really enjoyed it. There were a couple of characters that I thought that she made less pleasant than they were originally in Jane Austen's works. So that made me a little bummed out, but it wasn't as it wasn't such a big thing that I felt like I needed to walk away from the whole series or that book. It was just a little bit of a bummer that they were portrayed that way. But I'm really excited for the new one, The Rushworth Family Plot. She just released it last month. I think that she keeps Jane Austen July in mind as well with her release of her book, because the fact that she's releasing it right before Jane Austen July, that's smart, Claudia Gray. That's smart. So the next prompt is to read a book by a contemporary of Jane Austen. So this would be someone that was publishing books during the time that Jane Austen was alive. I'm not sure that I will get to this prompt, but if I do, I may consider something by Maria Edgeworth or maybe Sir Walter Scott. I don't know. We'll see. The sixth prompt is to watch a direct adaptation, a movie of or series of one of Jane Austen's books. So I mentioned before that they're doing a read-along of Emma. They've also decided to do a watch-along of Emma. They will be doing the 2020 film of it. I might watch that. Honestly, I'll probably end up watching the 1995 miniseries of Pride and Prejudice, or maybe the 2008 miniseries of Sense and Sensibility, or really, I'll probably just watch any and all of them because I love watching Jane Austen movies. So I mean, I love most of them. There's a couple that I feel like are poorly done. I feel like there's no good adaptation of Mansfield Park, and that's a bummer because it's one of my favorite Jane Austen books. I'd really like to see someone do a good adaptation of that book, being faithful to who Fanny is and her strengths as a character. Um, so if anybody out there would like to make that movie, that'd be great. Thank you. But yeah, I'll probably watch so many Jane Austen movies this month. And the seventh prompt is to watch a more modern adaptation of one of Jane Austen's books. So a great example of this would be Clueless. With them doing Emma as the read along this month, Clueless is a great example of Emma, but in a contemporary setting. And if I'm being completely honest, at this point in my life, like I said, I'm working towards trying to give Emma a better shot. But at this point in my life, I think Clueless is the only version of Emma that I like, but I'm giving it another shot. And then there's movies like Sense and Sensibility. There are also web series where they take the books and they divide it up into different episodes. So those are kind of fun as well. I watched one on Sense and Sensibility last year. Maybe I'll try to watch one on Pride and Prejudice this year. I don't know. But there are so many modern adaptations out there. For example, Bride and Prejudice, so many movie options to watch. I definitely recommend checking a few of those out, especially if you haven't yet. So, like I said, with it being my birthday month, remember 40, so excited. With it being my birthday month, I don't know that I'll get to all of these. We might be out doing stuff. I might start to read one of these and then just decide I'm not in the mood for it. I want to do something else. I may do something completely random. I don't know. I've been thinking about a couple of different books that maybe I want to check out someday, some year soon. I don't know. But as of right now, I'm just excited for Jane Austen books. She's one of my favorite authors. So I'm totally fine with just having this month be my Jane Austen month. Of course, I'm still doing my Bible study and the Daily Grace Company Behold Bible study that goes along with that. I'm working through the entire New Testament this year. And I'll leave the link for that down below in case any of you want to do that as well. They often have sales on the Behold Bible study materials. So if any of you are interested in doing that, definitely check it out. It's kind of cool. Anyhow, so that's it. I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.